and welcome back to the Terry and Lewis evaluation here at Irrelevant Reviews. Now, many people applauded us on our last one, which was an evaluation of gallon-sized Ziploc baggies. In fact, I don't know about you, but my email was flooded with requests to go ahead and do an additional study on larger bags, and in this case, garbage bags.
I couldn't fit all those emails into the gallon-sized.
Yes.
So we had to go bigger.
That's right, that's right. So what we have today is a comparison between two 13-gallon trash bags. Now they're slightly different. You'll notice here I have the Rite Aid Tall Kitchen Bag. And what do you have there, Terry?
I have the Glad Force Flex Plus Tall Kitchen Bag.
All right. Now, I have to confess, I've had these for some time, hence there's actually only one left in here. Now, I don't want to make it appear as if we're biased or anything like that. I do happen to use this bag, but I'm sure this one is equally valuable and has a lot of good features to it. The other part of that is that I don't have a receipt for this one. I can tell you that it probably is slightly less expensive per bag than that one, but that one has some features that make it a little more expensive, and we're going to explore that.
Definitely.
All right. So what are your feelings here? We've got a box of 30 and a box of how many?
80.
That's a mega pack, folks. All right. And so we're not going to compare on price here. You can Google that and see the difference. It's not a huge difference. So we're not going to even compare much with the boxes, really, for that matter.
No, there's no comparison.
Exactly, there really isn't. It's apples and oranges,
Yeah.
as they say.
You got the big apple right here and this
Kind of
squat little orange.
or what would you call it? What are those oranges called? The little ones?
The
cuties.
Yeah, the cuties.
We've got cuties.
Clementine.
And the big apple. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, first impressions. What do you think about that there?
Well, I like that this one's actually showing the food in the bag.
Yes.
Whereas this one, from what I could see, it just looks like someone inflated it with a pump.
Yeah,
It's a very odd shape.
That is interesting, but it's very rounded.
And from a distance, I see this trash can. It looks like a frothy stein of beer. It's very.
Yeah, I see. There's the beer and there's the froth. Yes.
It's very misleading.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to sell here. This
Yeah,
one, if you don't know what the product's for, you can look at the picture and say, oh, people put garbage in that.
Very easily, because you can see the garbage in it.
And it has round pieces, rectangular, all sorts of different types of garbage. Obviously, that bag is designed to accommodate. This one, again, at first look, it looks like it could accommodate air going into it or something.
Maybe water.
Yeah. So anyway, so I will say I will have to give stylings to the Glad Force Flex. I can't say that. Force Flex Plus.
Yes, that's a tough one to say.
It's a new tongue twister.
Yes.
All right. This is Commander Poppet. He's sitting in for us today. We don't want to remove him from the scene, however, because he just had flea treatment. So I don't want to touch him on the back there. All right. He got the hint. All right. So box styling aside, why don't you show them how the bag actually comes out of the box there?
So it comes out in the middle here, in this interesting shape. I don't know how to describe this shape. It's kind of like a flan.
You mean like the pudding?
Yeah.
The custard?
No, you turn the flan upside down and it's kind of...
Oh, yes.
And at the top,
right.
it's a little bit...
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
So it's kind of custardy-like.
Yeah, it's a custard-shaped opening, and you take the bag out. It rolls out like this. It's like the box is spitting it out.
Yeah, or sticking its tongue out at you.
Yeah.
Yes, or that too.
That too.
All right. So it's a nice looking bag.
It is. It's a lot bigger than this. This is folded up.
Yeah. And it has an interesting texture that's kind of stretchy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a nicely.
We can go ahead and
stretchy.
unfold it and show our home audience. Yeah. It has an interesting scent.
Yes.
Though the bag says unscented.
Yes. Very misleading, but it could just be the scent of the shield, the odor shield.
It has odor shield. Now
Yes.
this one has no such additional features to it. It's pretty much a tall kitchen bag. It does not have the odor shield. Well, we'll go ahead and take it out. It too was in a roll originally. I just had one here, so I kind of stuffed it back in there. We haven't used it. It is what I would describe as a more traditional garbage bag. It's pretty much smooth. It's not a stretchy material, and that's about it. There's no ties on it.
No ties.
No ties.
How do you?
Well, I think if you notice on the picture, it comes with these kind of ties. So it has the this type that has the wire in it, and you remove it, and then you wrap it around, and it secures. So much like the picture, that's what they've done. They've taken the top, kind of bundled it up, tied the tie around it. It's it's a two-step process.
So this is like a bag they would have maybe in the Stone Age.
Yes, I think that
Okay.
would be. It's
Yeah. They couldn't even
the
figure.
Mesozoic period, I believe, was before they came out with the integrated tie. Now, why don't you show what this one has for comparison, though?
This one has the built-in tie. They finally figured out the technology, maybe 1,000 years ago,
To integrate the actual tie into the liner of the bag.
Yes. As you can see here, you can just take the ties and lift them up
Oh, okay.
very easily. You can carry the bag with the ties,
Yeah.
which it serves two purposes. It's a tie, but it's also a handle.
Yes, that's a good point. You could use this as as a substitute for a handbag or something if you were missing, or couldn't find it and you needed to carry around stuff in a handbag. You could use that and lift it.
Yes.
So, definitely more convenient than this one. Now, again, I will say that I've used these for a long time and I've never had any issues, but I have to confess, sitting here watching, just seeing how this bag functions, I'm getting a little bag envy here. This has the makings of a nice bag. Now, one other thing I'm noticing right off the top is this bag, the Rite Aid one, does not have anything written on it.
Oh, no.
But what does that have written on it?
This one says, "Warning, to avoid danger of suffocation, keep this plastic bag away from babies and children."
Okay, that's important stuff, folks.
Yes.
If you don't have the presence of mind to think that this is dangerous for kids to play with, this is a not too subtle reminder.
Yeah.
Keep away. And I like how it mentions babies and children.
Yes.
So if you had a baby but not a child, I'm not sure how that works, but you would still think, you would still make that connection that they're both, keep it away from both.
Yeah. And if you had a child who was not still a baby, like maybe 4 or 5, you might think, oh, if it just said keep away from babies, you'd say, okay, my kid can play with this. He's in kindergarten.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And they'd be inclined to put it on their heads and make like a costume out of it or a ghost or something.
Yeah.
It's
There's a reason why during this Halloween season you don't see kids wearing garbage bags as ghost costumes.
yeah.
They would just kind of just fall at their doorstep.
Yeah, no, they'd fall on their face.
Yeah.
The only positive thing about that is if they hit their nose and got a bloody nose, it would be contained within the bag. But
That's
it's
true,
a breathing issue, folks. You can't
Yeah,
breathe
you
with the
cannot.
bag on your head. The other thing, too, that I noticed in terms of safety is that one has a nice written disclaimer there and a warning. This bag, the Rite Aid kitchen bag, doesn't. Now, we pointed out that the Rite Aid kitchen bag comes with these ties. But I'm going to point out this is a wire tie. And if people are playing with this, you could poke somebody in the eye with it accidentally. I've seen these before where they've worn through the ends and people reuse them. So you've got this bare wire sticking out just waiting to poke somebody and puncture their skin.
That is dangerous. Now, here's another thing I find interesting. They do have a warning on the ties, but it says to avoid suffocation, keep plastic bags away from children. Now, that's not helpful unless you have the ties with you when the kid is playing with the bag.
You're absolutely right. If those get separated from the bag, you are in deep trouble, folks, because it's you're not going to be aware of the dangers of that bag if you don't have the tie with you and if you're not reading it. It's interesting too, though. The wire that I happen to the tie that I pulled off does not have that disclaimer. They don't all have the warning on it. It's just they have like a series of 4 of them, then
Yeah.
blank ones. It's it's not. If you're unlucky enough to get this one tie and not understand the danger of the bag, you could tie somebody's head around there, use the tie to secure it, and it could affect their breathing. So that's a dangerous thing. You don't want to do that.
Even if you get a tie with writing on it, you'll only get the top half and the bottom half of some words. So it might as well be trying to decipher a Sanskrit
And how would that
text.
sound if you were to read that? If you were to read that aloud, what would that come out as if somebody were reading it?
Suffocation. It's an upside down J there.
Oh, it could be Russian.
Oh yeah, it's Cyrillic. That's
It's
what.
Cyrillic, yeah.
See, people might think, oh, this is a Russian bag. I don't need to know what it says
I
in
don't
America.
even know where it comes from. As
Yeah.
long as it works, that's
Oh,
the important
Russia.
thing. Well, yeah. All right. Well, that's our first impressions there of the bags and the whole kit. I gotta say, at this point, again, this is simple. It's a no-brainer. You know what to do with it. Everybody on the planet probably knows what to do with this bag. This one, you might, if you're new to this sort of stuff, you might sit here and figure out, well, what's this thing for? Oh, it's a loop. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could use it. You might think it's a ring or something. I mean,
I'm sure at least one proposal has taken place with this.
Yes. Will you take me to be your, and then using that as the ring?
I would be glad to take you.
One interesting thing too, I just wanted to say before we put these ties away here, I don't know if this is where the expression came from, the ties that bind.
Oh.
But this is, as a wire tie, it does work, and I will say it's pretty secure when you get them on there tight. So it's not a bad thing. Just be careful. Don't poke yourself. Don't poke somebody else. It's not a toy, kids. Okay. So now we were going to do a quick size comparison. Now, last time we did one of these, we measured it, but it's going to be pretty close. So we just wanted to see if there was any. They're both supposed to be 13-gallon bags. So I just thought we'd hold them up to each other and see if there's any significant difference.
This one's a bit.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you want to cheat that one there. All right. So where's the top of it? Now, that is one thing I will say here. It was very easy to find the top of that one because it has this gray little border, tags, and written warnings. This one,
You can
there it is.
easily
There's
put
the
it
opening.
in upside down.
It took me a minute there to find that. I had that same trouble with the supermarket ones too. So, okay, that's corner to corner there. So this one's a little wider, right? So secure. Hold that one with your pinky too, or whatever your finger. Whatever. I mean, hold them both there together.
Yeah.
There we go. Got it. So the Rite Aid one's a little wider. Oops, sorry. Oh.
To me, that suggests that the Glad bag is stretchier.
Yeah, and so that's a good point. The Rite Aid one's also a little bit longer, but you're right. The Glad bag is stretchier, so it's going to accommodate. If there's a sharp edge or something,
Yeah.
it's going to go with it. This one might be more apt to be punctured.
If you drop something in with such force, it might just go right through the bag.
Yeah. Now that's a good point right there. Why don't we, since you mentioned that, why don't we do a quick drop test and see?
Okay.
We just want you to see that these are both functional. We have some products here that we will use, and these are kind of added levels of difficulty, so to speak. So what we have a can of sardines, cooked chicken, and salmon, nothing else. And we're going to do one at a time to see if these bags can withstand the weight of these. Normally you wouldn't be putting in full cans of food into your garbage, but we just want to make sure. So you want to give it a shot? I'll just hold them up there and
Which one first?
I would start with the sardines first.
The sardines first. Okay.
Yeah.
They are endorsed by the Chicago Rabbinical Council. They are kosher for Passover.
That's good to know because
That
we
is.
don't want to use non-kosher products
No,
in here.
no.
We want everybody to feel like that we're addressing all your needs. So go ahead and drop that one. Nice. It held. It's not stretchy. I will say this is not a stretchy bag, but it's still held. Why don't you go ahead, skip to the salmon on this one.
Skipping the chicken, going straight to the salmon.
Well, it's
Also kosher for Passover.
excellent. All right, nice. And well, so far so good. It's withholding the pressure test here, and let's give the chicken a shot.
All right, save the chicken for last.
All right. It looks like this bag has passed this basic test. I'm going to go ahead and remove those. We'll try it with the stretchy bag. And, you know, I was concerned about this bag because it's not stretchy. It's got some snap to it. And I was afraid that snap might translate to, like, tearing a hole right through it. But no, that's a good one. This one, now with the Glad bag. Let's go the same order, just to be fair.
Yeah, it has to be same
Yeah,
order.
Can't conduct an experiment and change the parameters. All right, nice.
Ooh, now that.
Interesting. There was a slide though. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
It's kind of grippy. It actually, I think, slowed it down.
Yeah, it was definitely, it lost some momentum there, and I
Yeah.
think they did that intentionally.
I think that's a good. If you had like half a jar of something, you know, like a spaghetti sauce, something that you were throwing out, or grease, or something out of the bottom of something you just cooked with, you don't want that thing bursting. Now that bag was snappy. I could feel the full force of it as it hit the bottom of the bag. This one, again, the edge is kind of grippy and stretchy, and it actually slowed the speed of that can. I didn't feel as much of a sensation when it hit the bottom of the bag. All right, let's give this one.
Oh no, I almost
yeah.
wanted to. God.
Oh, I'm glad you caught that. That would have been disastrous. No,
Those results would have been way skewed.
It would have been warped and skewed, yes.
Oh, man.
All right, we're going to go salmon first. Good eye.
Salmon.
Whoops.
Whoa.
That
Well,
was my bad. Head over the glass table.
but that's a good test.
It is. It cushioned and protected
No
the
damage
glass
to the table.
Yeah. So that's, you know, again, this bag is really surprising me. I wish I'd known about it earlier.
you could have a glass waste
see?
basket,
Yeah.
and it would still.
Help cushion it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's give the cooked chicken a shot here.
All right. Now, do we want to
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
position it so I'm
try-
not dropping it on the other can?
Well, it's the weight is the more.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and. Again, I still felt it sliding down the inner edge. So
Yeah.
that's impressive.
It does. It
So, all right.
has a slight adhesive.
So I would have to say both these bags passed this test here. So we will move on. I'm checking this off my list here. That's, why don't we do the volume test first? So, you know, some people might do this water or something, but that's going to get messy. So what we decided to do is I'm just going to blow into the bag and see how many breaths it takes to fill up the bag. It's not completely scientific, I understand that, but I think it's, you know, it'll be comparable.
Yes,
So we'll give it a shot here, and I'm just going to say, if you want to keep count,
I will.
and I will start doing this. Is my microphone still there? Yes, all right, just making sure.
Yeah.
All right, and we ready? Here we
Yeah.
go.
That's one.
Got to remember to cinch it up.
Two.
Kind of a talc smell or something.
No.
I'm not sure. And I'm trying not to inhale it before I.
You don't want to get white lung.
No. All right, here we go again. Ready?
Yeah. We're at three.
All right, let's get in there. I got to keep laying it out, moving my hand further up to clear space. All right, where are we at?
Three.
All right.
Four. Five.
It's hard to find the hole there.
Six.
Losing my handhold.
Oh no.
But that's good. I mean, at least we're getting to the end here. Okay, ready?
Seven.
Kind of disappearing from the camera, but that's all right. Okay, I think I got space for another.
We've hit 8.
And here's the thing. I think I'm going to stop here because if I were to seal this, but it's still got to leave enough. I mean, it does you no good to measure the volume of it if you can't seal it afterwards, right? You got to be able to seal the volume of it.
So this means that it's actually using some of its 13-gallon volume just to seal it.
To give you purchase to either use the tie on or not.
Oh, no. So it's,
I'll try to go, tell you what, just to be fair, we got 8, right?
Yeah,
Let's
8.
try to get one more,
Let's
and
see.
then I can use the tie. Let's see.
Yeah,
So
9.
I have barely just enough there to, you got to leave enough. So yes, that's an astute observation. You got to leave a little bit of that 13-gallon to be able to.
So it's not a 13-gallon bag, truly. It's
Well, I mean, I don't know.
It has 13
I'm
gallons.
sorry, I missed a spot.
Oh,
I missed a spot there, and that's I maybe blew it too full. So
Maybe.
So anyway, but that was 9. Was that the last
Yeah,
one?
9.
Okay. So that was 9. That was my mistake there. Probably could have still cinched that up there, but we'll let it go at that. And I'm going to leave it inflated because we have another test coming up.
yeah.
All right. So let's just put that over here for now. And now we're going to try. Oh, let's take the cans out to be fair. So I'm going to write that was 9 for the Rite Aid. And the Glad.
I'm thinking the Glad can hit at least 10.
I'm thinking again because I had to use some of that bag. Remember how it looked bigger?
Yeah.
But some of it I had to use it just to create a handhold, whereas you're not going to need that with this one because you've got built-in handholds. All right, so let's give it a shot. Ready? Get your counting hat on. All right. All right, here we go.
One. Two. That's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7.
A little lightheaded. There it is.
8. 9, so we're tied.
I still got some space here.
Yeah, you
It's
don't.
stretchy. It's expanding.
It is. You can tell by the grooves.
Okay, ready?
We're at 10. Now, can you keep going?
I think so.
Ho, ho, ho. 11. 12.
Oops.
13. 14. 15.
All right, I think I'm gonna. Now, in all fairness, I have to tell you here, this one, because of the structure, because it's so stretchy, we probably should subtract at least 3 of those there because I
Okay.
think in between it was leaking out a little bit. It's hard to seal it here with the hand because it's stretchy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I just happened to notice that when I went down there, and it kind of stretched out on my grip there. I would say definitely more than that. I mean, I could tell when it was blowing up that it was still continuing to expand.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a true 15, and that was my fault.
Maybe, yeah, 12 or 13.
Yeah, I'd go with that. But still, the impressive thing is, and again, even though I didn't get it all the way, let me give it one more big hefty.
Oh.
We're not doing hefty today, folks.
No.
Sorry. And then you've got the tie cinch here. You can cinch it up, and we're going to lose a little bit of air while I'm messing with it here, but so yeah, we lost a little air there in the translation, but we saw we were able to get it pretty big. That one's holding air, but again, you have to remember, what are these for? They're not for holding air.
No.
So I will give this one kudos. It's still, since I put it down here, it's from the tie there.
It stayed tied.
This one is not, you'd really have to, you have to tie the tie, cinch it up around it, so there is a chance it's still going to have some air-wise. But again, we're not putting air or liquid in here,
No,
so
you
I
don't
can't.
really need to throw away air.
Right.
And if you did, this would not be the best way to do it.
Exactly, exactly. So again, it's I'll give this one on better capacity, but I'm going to have to give that one points for just holding its air.
Yes.
And I do want to say something also. I mentioned this before about the Glad. It says odor shield on there, unscented. I guess maybe there's something inside it that keeps the odor from coming out or something. Because I definitely scent something, and when I put my face in there, it's I mean, I don't go around putting my face in garbage bags normally,
Not
so
often.
it's not a huge deal, but there's a smell to it, and it's not my favorite smell.
Yeah.
Moving on here, again, as I pointed out, the bags are both retaining some air. You had an interesting observation earlier that I wanted to bring attention to, just for people that were curious about that, the can of sardines.
These Evanger's whole uncut sardines, they mentioned they are hand-packed whole uncut sardines. Now, I have to wonder how you hand-pack a sardine into a round can. Are you approaching from the top?
Do you mash it in there? I
Yeah.
don't know. Or do you curl it around the side?
Yeah, there's many ways. Now, I tend to eat the human sardines.
A human sardine. That's a new one. I haven't heard about the human sardine.
Now, these are dog sardines. These are
Oh! I thought you meant a sardine made out of
they're not
humans
made
or
out of
something.
people,
Okay.
but they are. The ones I eat are made for people, and you can tell that they're for people because they're more in a quadrilateral with rounded corners.
Right.
And you open it from the top. Now those, it's pretty obvious how you hand pack those in. You have a big top, and you just
layer them in there.
easy.
Yeah.
You could unpack them easily if you wanted to eat them with your fingers.
Yeah. Well, I'm impressed that they're hand packing sardines for dogs and cats. That shows a lot of. That's nice. Yeah. Very cool. So next up, let's go ahead and let's see if we can untie these, and we'll just do the tension test on the lip of it, because that's usually the part where it's getting tugged at, or you're tying, it gets a lot of abuse there on the mouth part of the bag. So what I'd like to do is, here, we'll start with the Glad one, and I'm just going to, if you want to hold that in, I'm just going to attach an end of this strain gauge to here, and then I'm just going to pull on it, and we'll see at what point it gets in, and I'm going to call it out as we go. Okay, we're at about 2 1/4 pounds there. Is everything visible here? Sorry. We're going to go up to 3 pounds, and then 4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2. Oh, went through about 4 1/2 pounds. All right. I'll write that down. 4 1/2 pounds for the Glad. All right, and now let's try the Rite Aid bag. All right, ready?
To be clear, does the thickness of the bag affect?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good point. So this is really more like another puncture test, but we're measuring how much, how many pounds it takes to perforate the bag. So, that one's not going to do so well here. I'm not even a pound, and it's already coming. It hasn't punctured it yet. It's stretching it. 1 pound.
Oh.
1 1/2. So this
1/3.
Yeah. So that's makes a big difference. The stretchy bag versus a firm bag like this in terms of puncturing. And again, I mean, if maybe you put your recycling in a bag like the, well, I guess you're not supposed to put it in a plastic bag, huh?
Maybe not.
I don't know. But I would say, it's been interesting, but the tear resistance and volume definitely to the Glad bag.
Yeah.
The air retention was impressive with this one, I will say,
Yeah,
with
it
the,
did
with the
have
Rite Aid.
that.
It had that. So if you need it for retaining, well, not even air, it's carbon dioxide, but air or gas or something like that, that's probably your bag of choice there. It's easier to seal. It's not stretchy, but the same thing that makes that one less adept there makes it better for other things like putting, odd shaped things in there that'll help resist perforation.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks?
I don't know, after all these thousands of years, how they still could not figure out the technology to fit the tie into the bag.
Well, that's a good point, and that's probably something worth exploring. And looking at one of the maybe we can entice one of those technology shows to kind of go into the origin of the bag.
Yeah.
When did this ability to fuse the bag, so you had, it's in a hole, it's like a little tunnel in there, that would have been an important step there. At what point could they fuse that and make a strong tunnel to keep the tie in?
We got a man on the moon before Rite Aid figured out how to put a tie on a bag.
That's
Some perspective
that's
there.
a good point. And not picking on Rite Aid. I mean, they have
Yeah.
good low-cost items that are, for the budget conscious. We appreciate it, and that's their generic product. So, it serves a purpose. It just depends what your purpose is.
I think they could do a little more to keep up with the name brand
Yeah.
bags.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. I'm not sure what our next review is going to be on, but keep the mail coming, and we always listen to our viewing public and want to give you stuff that you guys are interested in and that help make your life easier. All right. Well, thank you, and good night. Next thing what I would like to do is, since we have air in these, we're going to do a quick puncture test. So excuse me for 2 seconds while I grab the puncture. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, folks. That was my lavalier mic, which I forgot I was connected to. Oh. All right, here we go. So we're going to now conduct the volume test to see how many breaths of air it takes for me to fill this up.
This is not a loudness test.
Right, yes. Okay, ready?
That's one. That's two.
Getting lightheaded here.
Got three. Four. Five. Six. Seven.
Inhaled some of this citrus twist.
Eight.
We're almost there.
Getting close.
Excuse me.
That's nine.
All right, I think we're there.
All right, 10. And that's 11.
All right, here we go. All right. Ready?
That's one. That's two. Three.
That's what I'm breathing. Is that 4?
That's 4.
Okay. Excuse me, the unscentedness.
Maybe it's not as unscented as we thought. That was 5, by the way.
I did another half because I thought I lost something.
They were at 5.5.
Okay.
So is that 6 or 6?
Folks, I'm not crying here. Just this is tough. It's like running a marathon.
So just now, is that a full breath or a half?
It was a full one.
Okay, so it's 6.5.